Cutter's Degrassi Unpopular Opinions. There's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Cutter Degrassi Unpopular Opinions. I'm not shifted in center. I like to be more center with my stuff to give you more of an opinion. Anyway, so welcome to another Degrassi Unpopular Opinion. This is number 178 in the series, and this is an unpopular opinion that I did called Trying to Understand Liberty's Hate from Season 6. I know normally I wait a couple weeks for the Degrassi post to be put up and then just comment on it. But with the fact that next week I'm going to be having a heavy work schedule and I have to make time to tape Sports Catastrophe and all that, I'm just pushing it forward. So anyway, 3 days ago, and for context, this is being taped on November 18th, 2022, I wrote a post saying, trying to understand Liberty's hate from Season 6. It's more of a hot take, if you will, but, it's an unpopular opinion about Liberty's behavior in Season 6. And this is what I said. So all I know about Liberty in Season 6 was how she finally showed emotion in quotations, after JT died and all that. But prior to that was how she seemed to be jealous of JT being with Mia and to an extent Isabella. I just find it outrageous her behavior and possibly her malice towards JT when she drove him away in the first place. Well, the malice being denying nursery at Degrassi, although I don't know if it was a good idea in the first place. But she drove away in the first place. Season 5 said the whole Liberty pregnancy storyline, and the writers botched it because it was JT more. They put it more on JT's point of view than hers. And the fact that they broke up around the time of her kid's birth. Subsequent episodes saw Liberty give up the kid, go into postpartum possibly, but her parents basically told Liberty to suck it up and not getting involved in things till Season 6 when JT goes with Mia. One thing I always wanted to know is if Mia didn't have a kid at all, would Liberty still have been jealous of JT moving on despite her being the cause of the breakup? I don't know. Someone help me. So anyway, so context. So Season 5, JT finds out from Liberty that she's pregnant, and then JT crashes his car into a hydrant, or was it a curve? I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, JT wants to do all he can to help Liberty out with the pregnancy and all that. Liberty has been hiding her pregnancy from everybody. Danny tries to get Liberty to admit she's pregnant and all that. Well, Danny has some kind of baby for parenting class and tells them to take care of the kid or else he'll spill the beans about Liberty's pregnancy. So anyway, JT quits his TV job and tries to work in a pharmacy. And then through Jay, he finds out that he can sell certain pills and then, have money for stuff and all that. So JT does that. Unfortunately, he gets in trouble with a drug dealer and also with the fact that the pharmacist might have something up his sleeve for JT. JT decides to try to overdose and kill himself. He did kind of sheepishly admit he was trying to off himself. Fortunately, though, Jay saw JT overdose and tried to help. But the simple fact was that Liberty was upset that JT would go through all this stuff just to, make her happy. I mean, JT was kind of in the wrong, but he was doing it for Liberty's benefit, and Liberty just basically didn't care about it. I don't know. It just seemed that way. She just gave me bad vibes. But anyway, yeah, Liberty decides to give up the kid, saying that she can't risk it in the world, that JT would go through all that just to, like the drug dealing and all that, just to protect her kid. And, I guess, in fact, her parents knew about it after Liberty's dad, a lawyer, decides, he gets a plea deal with the pharmacist and gets JT kind of off the hook in a bit. Liberty's happy about that. So Liberty gives birth to the kid and, gives it up for adoption right off the bat. She starts having second thoughts about it, and at an exam, she blanks out. And unfortunately, her parents basically tell her off, saying that this was worth 30% of your grade. Nothing could be more important than this. And they just basically told Liberty to suck it up. I guess because Liberty's mom didn't have postpartum with her 2 kids, doesn't mean anything. So anyway, Liberty drinks and all that. However, Derek, who was actually kind of a fan favorite instead of being the douchey guy he was later going to be, said that, I was adopted too, but my mom had a memory chest in case of things. So Liberty does that for her son, who's off to Seattle, and Liberty feels happy, and that's when Derek was manageable. So then season 6 happens. She finds JT dating Mia and all that. Let's not forget about the whole Lakehurst Degrassi problems because of JT dating Mia. But JT took interest in Mia's 2-year-old Isabella. And Liberty kind of felt terrible and kind of felt angry that JT would move on with a kid and all that. Probably thinking that, JT would have been a decent father figure. And he was to Izzy. So Liberty seemed to be jealous and all that. Mia basically tells Liberty off a few times. There's the rivalry, and of course, Drake Lampley stabs JT in the aorta and kills him. And Liberty does find JT. Well, JT was trying to find Liberty, but Liberty finds JT and says, "Somebody help!" In the primal scream. And then, JT dies in that episode, and it leads to trouble. Liberty finally shows emotion. Basically, she's been accused of being a robot and all that. The writers didn't do Liberty any good justice. And then, she and Toby had a thing, but Toby couldn't do it. Toby said that, I will ruin this relationship, but I have to because I owe it to my dead friend JT. So, yes, so basically Liberty finds showing emotion. We're realizing that JT wanted to go back to her. I think also in a sense that JT probably wanted to go back to Liberty so that the Lakehurst Degrassi feud would probably end in a sense. So anyhow, that's what happens. And, to me, it seems like Liberty had this giant vibe. And, Liberty was kind of hated in a sense. And as I said, the writers didn't do her justice. So anyway, I got some comments. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Rachel Violetta, once again, pulls this up. Okay, I'm going to try to paraphrase. I felt bad for Liberty seeing that video of JT playing a dad figure to Mia's kid when she had JT's son and put him up for adoption. Those kind of things can't be rationalized because of the level of hurt. Seeing your now deceased boyfriend playing with a child of a new girlfriend, well, you never got to see him do the same with your own son. It's gut-wrenching. And yeah, I think Liberty would still not like Mia and be jealous of Mia dating JT even if Mia wasn't a mom. Her being a mom just made it worse because Liberty becoming a mother was the undoing of the relationship, even if it was Liberty's choice. And to see JT have the ability to go ahead with a new girl who was the opposite of Liberty in every way and happily do things with a girlfriend and kid caused a lot of hurt and resentment. Like he was able to be there for someone else and her kid, but not Liberty and his own kid? Even the rationale doesn't add up. The emotions do. Right. That is true. That is so true. I mean, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting at. And no, Rachel and I don't collaborate and all that or talk to each other with that stuff. I must say that. We're kind of on the wavelength here. Like, I understand, the kid. But remember, Liberty gave up the kid. JT didn't really have much of a chance to be with his son and all that after Liberty raised him. I forgot. Was the kid dark like Liberty or pale like JT? Or even a mix? I can't remember. Anyhow, someone said, I think the jealousy stemmed from JT not seeming to want their baby and suggesting adoption, but is happily with Mia and her child playing stepdad. I'd be jealous too, TBH, to be honest. Well, yeah, I think JT kind of had that feeling, but JT also knew what he had to do to try to provide for his kid and all that. I mean, yeah, I know about the Mia and Isabella and, Lucas not wanting to step up and be a good dad. I don't think Lucas really stepped up until he found out about Jane's molestation and the fact that his dad might be going towards Isabella, his own kid. I mean, she is a girl. Whoopsies. Someone said, yeah, I'd be hurt if my boyfriend moved on. Bougie Dollface said, I think it stemmed from Liberty not really wanting to give up her baby, but having to because JT wasn't making the smartest decisions. Her parents were assholes every step of the way, and she was backed into the corner. And her being so hateful towards Mia was a mix of her still being in love with JT, which was obvious, and seeing him in a caregiver role with Isabella. It ached for her. Yes, it sure did. It really did ache for her. I'm actually shocked that Liberty didn't move on with another guy, maybe to make JT jealous. I don't know. That would have made sense. Accomplished Cup even said, it bothered me because there's a big problem in the black community. I mean, her parents were, there was a doctor and a lawyer. They had the means to help her, but instead they forced her to give her baby up. They could have made sure they both got a job and one pays for the baby's basic needs and the other pays for childcare. They could have made it work, but they chose not to. And they pushed a lot of that responsibility on JT. Everyone was disappointed and all that. So yeah, that's the big thing, is about her parents. I mean, I don't think Liberty's parents are the worst parents on Degrassi and all that. That would be easy to distinguish, but no, I can't do that. Excuse me. The simple fact was that yeah, they seem to be pushing their kids towards academics and all that. They're not the first or last Degrassi parents to do that and all that. I mean the Bandaris for one, but you know the double standards and all that. But still, I mean, you know, yeah, they could have been a little more supportive of that. But I guess maybe they had the shame of having their teenage daughter give birth and all that. And the weird thing is with the whole Liberty pregnancy storyline, it's the simple fact that, you know, there was like no shaming and all that. Like with Manny, she was being shamed. But when Liberty got pregnant, there was no backlash with Liberty. Well, you may be thinking, okay, that's good. It's just a simple fact that that did not come into the consciousness. And that's the weird thing because, you know, Liberty is this smart A type person who kind of is like a robot, if people say that. And then all of a sudden, she doesn't show any emotion. I mean, she, like, yeah, the writers screwed up because they made Liberty the background of her own stupid pregnancy storyline. I mean, yeah, they wanted to do that and strike gold again, but they didn't do it like Manny's. They just basically made Liberty off to be something she's not. And it's like, well, what support did she have for her friends? Now, I know Emma and Liberty weren't really friends, they were frenemies. But the simple fact is, Emma could have helped, Manny could have helped. Maybe they did help off screen, but, you know, what we saw in front of the camera was not good for Liberty's image and all that. And nobody's, like, said bad things about Liberty. I guess in a sense they were just trying to ignore Liberty. Maybe it was the color of her skin. Yeah, I just don't like it at all. It just doesn't pass the sniff test, and that's the whole story of it. Anyway, thanks for watching.